Hi there, this is Alva again from the video blog HowIMetYourFather.life. So today's been an interesting day. I've been talking a lot about my experience in New Orleans, the good, the bad, and the strange. I've also mentioned some things about a woman from a place I grew up in, Albany, New York. Her name is Bridget Cooley. The thing about her is she's not an isolated case. She's staunchly Roman Catholic. I think went to the Academy of Holy Shames in Albany, New York. And what I find interesting, not being an alum of the Academy of Holy Shames, not being Roman Catholic, as we've previously established, I was baptized Presbyterian at the First Presbyterian Church of Brooklyn in Brooklyn Heights, New York. More of a humanist these days and kind of an agnostic. So yeah, Roman Catholicism, as they call it, is kind of not my cup of tea. Never has been, even if I was born in what they would consider to be a traditionally Catholic country. Means nothing to people in France, by the way. That term, traditionally Roman Catholic, it really doesn't mean much to a laïque country like France. Just want to point that out. There are a lot of women that went to the Academy of Holy Shames who are just kind of nutso these days. I don't know what they put in the water. I don't know really why. But when you talk to them as adults, they're kind of missing some cards in the deck. Bridget Cooley is one example of this. Eugenia from Ithaca, New York is another example of this. Her older sister, Clarion Call, is a third example of this. I don't know what the fuck went on at the Academy of Holy Shames in the 90s, but something must have gone on that has left these women to be shells of the people they could have been. I know that there have been investigations into the Catholic Church over child sex abuse in other cities. There was a whole movie, Spotlight, that was made over the findings of the Boston Globe and the priest sex abuse scandal in Boston that won an Oscar several years ago, a movie starring Mark Ruffalo and Michael Keaton. I'm going to go out on a limb and say something similar must have happened in Albany that just hasn't really kind of been fully investigated. A lot of the prominent so-called Roman Catholic families, and they really are very attached to this term. I don't think other Catholics around the world, as I've mentioned in previous episodes, are very attached to the term Roman Catholic. But for some reason, Catholics in Albany, New York, of all places, in 2021 are very much just staunchly Roman Catholic. And I think that might be a problem. I think they're attached to some sort of an omerta that they can't really talk about. It might be related to priest sex abuse, because there's something just really kind of off about how they relate to each other when it comes to romance, significant others, people of different races that they may have been involved with in high school. Like, there's something up with that. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say it has something to do with some kind of a priest sex abuse scandal in Albany, New York that we haven't gotten to the bottom of. And that probably deserves a lot more scrutiny than it's gotten in the past. I remember reading at least that the Albany Diocese was looking into claims of sex abuse from Buffalo. But who's scrutinizing the Albany Diocese? That's maybe something that people should be looking into. Who scrutinizes the Albany Diocese if they're so busy scrutinizing other dioceses across upstate New York? Something to consider. I just feel like a lot of these folks, Bridget Cooley, Eugenia, and her whole family, and the folks who have turned out to be Trump supporters who are staunchly Roman Catholic, have some kind of explaining to do. Like, they're kind of dysfunctional in the real world. They talk themselves into circles about ridiculousness related to Catholicism that's kind of not super relevant to 2021. Nobody in what they would consider to be traditionally Catholic countries like France, Italy, maybe, I don't know. I haven't been to Italy. I'll talk about France since I feel like I know that country pretty well. It's my home country. But when I talk to French Catholics, they're not this like dead set on upholding Catholic values. Like, they'll do the midnight mass or they'll do Christmas Eve dinner, but they're not going to go crazy about the whole no sex before marriage thing. They're a little looser about these kinds of things. And they're not going to call themselves, Catholics of France are probably never going to call themselves Roman Catholic. That's just kind of anathema to French Catholics, because why would they do that? Exactly. Like, why would they pledge their allegiance to Rome? Exactly. Even if they are Catholic. Like, that just doesn't really, in my book, sound authentic to me if they're French Catholics calling themselves Roman Catholics after all this time. Exactly. So it's just weird that people in Albany, a so-called blue city in a so-called blue state in the United States of America, are holding on to this relic of a very conservative religion by upholding the fact that they're Roman Catholic. Eugenia of Ithaca, New York is a fucking basket case. And she's an alum of the Academy of Holy Shames. So is Bridget Cooley. So are a lot of women who are just cuckoo in the head when it comes to relating to other people. I'm just throwing it out there. A serious journalist in the Albany area could probably dig up some dirt more quickly than I can. I'm just presenting things that just don't sit well with me. Experiences that I've had with these people that I'm just questioning. Is there a priest sex abuse scandal in Albany that people are just ignoring, that people are covering up? What's the omerta? People of the Times-Union, Schenectady Gazette, WAMC, Channel 13, News Channel 10, whoever it is up in New York, upstate New York, that's really minding the shop as far as journalism needs to get on this, because this is fucking ridiculous. The way these people relate to human beings and to themselves at this late age is an embarrassment. I don't know what else to point out as a possibility. Like, I seriously think there's some kind of a weird omerta with these so-called Roman Catholics of Albany. Like, they're hiding something, and they can't relate to normal human beings, and they can't have normal relationships. And I find that really strange. Just throwing that out there as a possibility, going out on a limb, if you will. Somebody in Albany's got to take this story and just like run with it and have real evidence to just be like, what the fuck is going on with these Catholics of Albany? And that's about all I'm going to say about this tonight. Signing off, Alva from HowIMetYourFather.life.